Somehow, this woman was able to sneak onto an airplane in New York City and fly all the way to Paris, France. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a Russian national woman who is in the U.S. legally. I'm not quite sure if she is an asylum seeker, a migrant, whatever. They say she's here legally. I'm not quite sure about that. But she was able to sneak onto an airplane in JFK Airport, New York City, and fly all the way to Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, France. Now, obviously, to do something like that, you got to do a lot of different things. First of all, I'm not quite sure about JFK, but I know when I go to Hartsfield-Jackson, it's a whole wall you got to get through. Security checkpoints, TSA, body scanning, they're checking your ID, boarding pass, and you got to have a passport. And I would presume as a Russian national, she got all kind of stuff going on. Okay, you might have a Russian passport. Do you have an American passport as Russian national? You might not be a citizen. I don't really know. But regardless, this is a catastrophic security failure, 100%. Now, I got a couple of videos here because there's so much going on. She got caught on the way to Paris, and then she had to get sent back. And there was an incident both times. She did not want to come back to the USA. But of course, I will link to these videos in the box. If you want to see them or hear more about my commentary, if you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Now, on the investigation into an airport security breach during the height of the holiday travel season. New videos show the stowaway who was discovered traveling from New York to Paris. Transportation correspondent Gio Benitez has the story. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, George. Good morning. It's incredible how this woman got through multiple levels of airport workers. It's a stunning breach. And now this morning, we are learning more about the woman at the center of it all. Take a look.
Now, to get back to her and her identity, when I first heard the story, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking migrant, war age male from all over the world. The color doesn't really matter because you got it from all over the entire planet, from China, Africa, South America, Europe, everywhere. They found a white male Canadian at the southern border coming into the USA illegally. So I'm not surprised about the skin color, but her age and being a woman, that's something that I've not seen quite yet. But hey, the migrant crisis knows no color barrier or gender barrier.
This morning, a first look at the woman who authorities say was a stowaway on a flight from JFK to Paris.
Well, that boarding pass is a completely different name.
New video showing a Delta crew member questioning the woman after she allegedly snuck onto the plane last week.
She took 10 minutes to just tumbler her bags to find a boarding pass, which she did not have at all.
Please help me. I don't want to go to United States.
Now, can we pause right here? I don't want to go to United States. Okay, you know what? I'm not mad at that statement, actually. I say, you know what? Let's go ahead and oblige you. You're probably not a citizen. You might not be here 100% legally. You got some kind of weird status. You know what? Let's send you on the plane back to Mother Russia. Okay, if he dies, he dies. Ivan Drago, let's send you over there with them, with the bears and the cold and the snow. Go back home and don't come here. That's what I would say. I would not try to get her back to the USA for what? Why do we need her? But anyway.
And another video taken days later as the woman was on a plane in France getting ready to be sent back to the U.S.
She got belligerent, so then more stewardess came in to try to restrain her, and that's when everything started to escalate.
In the video, you can see and hear the suspected stowaway shouting while crew members try to restrain her.
Get asylum against United States.
The woman was removed from the flight and remains in France. Authorities say the woman is a Russian national who is a legal resident of the U.S.
That's a very tricky thing they say, legal resident. What does that mean? Do you have a green card? Are you a citizen? Are you a student? Like, what's going on with your actual legal status?
Allegedly bypassed several airport workers at New York's JFK, going through the security screening, but never showing ID and boarding the plane without a ticket. Passengers say she tried to avoid detection on the full flight by going from one bathroom to another without ever taking a seat. Unbelievable. And meanwhile, this morning, Delta says it is conducting an exhaustive investigation. We don't yet know if or how the woman will get back to the U.S. and whether she'll face any charges. But I know all of us are looking at this, scratching our heads, saying, how is this even possible?
So many layers of security to get there.
Yeah. Wow.
Hey man, it happens. It does happen. Now let's go. Let's keep on going here. All right. We ain't talking about Trump right here. No, that's their favorite thing. We're going to get more into what happened.
There is an update on that accused stowaway who investigators say snuck onto a flight from JFK to Paris last week. She was supposed to be back in the U.S. by now, but as Dick Brennan reports, she is still overseas because of another onboard incident.
I said, keep her over there. Keep her over there. And, don't send her back west, send her back east. That's what I would say. Send her back the other way. Send her to Siberia. Big rocks, little rocks over there. Big icebergs, little icebergs in Siberia. Do that.
This our court decision.
57-year-old Svetlana Dali on board a return flight back to the U.S. to face the music for allegedly stowing away on a plane last week. But look what happened. She erupts and gets unruly.
Please start help me. I don't want to go to United States.
The plane had to return to the gate, and Dali was taken off the airliner and into French custody. Authorities say she is the same woman who snuck onto a Delta flight from JFK in New York to Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris last Tuesday, even though she didn't have a boarding pass. Sources tell CBS News she somehow evaded 2 document and ID check portions of the TSA process, but did go through an advanced imaging technology body scanner at another checkpoint. Holiday travelers on board the plane got word firsthand from the pilot.
They took us to the captain. We're just waiting for the police to come on board.
This came after passengers noticed flight attendants behaving oddly as they descended into Paris.
I heard them saying, like, we have a passenger who we think was hiding in the lavatory during takeoff. She does not have a seat. She did not have a boarding pass. And, basically she's a stowaway.
The Transportation Safety Administration says it will meet Dali at JFK when she ultimately returns to the U.S., and they'll file a civil case against her, saying TSA opens a civil case against any passenger when there is evidence that TSA regulations may have been violated.
You know what? I'm going to pause it right there. TSA. I'm going to speak about TSA and then give my own little airplane horror story. Now, first of all, TSA, they dropped the ball quite a bit. No pun intended. I'm going to explain why I say that. They dropped the ball quite a bit because there's all kind of, I guess you would say, audits or whatnot that they do on TSA. Trying to see if they can detect weapons. They get weapons through all the time. There's all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of things that happen as a result of TSA just missing things. Now, this is a pretty big, when you miss a whole human being, they get through your security systems. That's pretty bad. But TSA has no problems filling you up when you go there. Okay, you go through the little body scan situation. All right, Mr. Logan, do you want to get patted down right here or you want to go in the back? Hey, man, do it right here so everybody can see what's going on. You ain't going to take me in the back and have you wait with me. If you're gonna touch me right there, do all this jazz with your hands, touching my private parts, I want you to do it right here in front of everybody so they see what's going on. But anyway, getting triggered. But they can do all that. They can massage your twig berries, but a whole Russian national can just skip on through and become a stowaway. It's ridiculous. And then my horror story, as wrap it on up and put the bow on top. Here's my horror story. So I'm on the plane recently. I'm going from Atlanta to Norfolk. I'm going from where I'm at right now back to where I'm from. And there was a dude in front of the gate. He was tripping, but I did not think he was going to get on our flight. I'm like, okay, he's just out here tripping. I did not think he was going to get on our flight. So fast forward, I'm sitting down, I'm seated, I'm on the actual plane. And the same way they said right here with the flight attendants acting crazy or a little bit erratic, that's kind of what was happening here. They were surrounding one seat. Before I know it, you got 8 people surrounding one person. Then they say, hey, do we have any nurses on board? If you're a nurse or a doctor, push a little button on top of your situation and we'll come get you. So nurses go over there to this particular seat. And one of the nurses says, hey, does anybody have any Narcan? I'm like, Lord have mercy. Not Narcan on the actual flight. So I think they hit him with the Narcan, boom. And it's like he was dead, all this. He came right back to life like ain't nothing happened. And he was turned all the way up, upset. The same way she was, that was him. He was just real hood though. I fight everybody on here. I fight everybody. Long story short, he gets kicked off, but he was not trying to get kicked off. So they tried to deplane the whole plane. Here come the captain. Everybody did deplane, right? Oh man, everybody was mad. So I'm like in front of him, but across. So right when that happens, I know I got to say something. and I can hear his accent. We're from the same hood, Norfolk, Portsmouth, Virginia. I could speak to him in his language. So I might have said a couple of cuss words. Whatever I said worked, and we were able to get to where we had to go. Now, there was more to that story. I told it on the live stream, but that was pretty much that. You would never think you would be in that situation until it happens. If I was on that flight with a stowaway, I don't know what I would have done. What can you really do? Like, you already landed or you're in the air. What are you going to do? Luckily, my situation happened before we took off. Okay, he was knocked out from the fentanyl or whatever, like sitting at the gate. Luckily, he didn't decide to go get geeked up in the bathroom and pass out right there on the ground on the flight. That would have been a whole big mess, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about TSA dropping the ball here, really? Because that's what happened. I mean, look, when I go through the checkpoint, you got to have ID, boarding pass. And if you're going international, you got to have a passport too. So you do all that. You go through the body scan, they're checking your luggage, you're doing all that stuff. How do you allow a whole human being to get on an international flight? I don't really understand, but whatever your thoughts on that are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I mean, this is crazy, a big security breach, and I'm not going to totally attack TSA. I guess they do stop some things. They're able to find a lot. I see it all the time where they got guns they find, but sometimes things slip through the cracks. They really do. So if I'm anyone, if I'm a regular person, I'm not just going to rely on the powers that be, the authorities, to look out for my safety. If you see something, say something. If you see Ivan Drago's mom acting a fool on the airplane, acting a little bit erratic, all in the bathroom the whole time, hey, flight attendant, hey, captain, what's going on with this lady? Does she have a boarding pass? Is she a stowaway? That'd be my question going forward if I see something like that on an airplane. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.